Morning all, it's that time of the month again and we're back for another episode of the vlog, and this one's probably going to be short enough that you can watch it on Smoko. So I just wanted to quickly go over something that came up this last month with a new client who, it's the first time he's done a video, so he's a little bit nervous about it purely for the fact that he's never done one before and this is all new to him. So I've got a project coming up, like I said, with a new client where there's going to be a lot of him talking on camera for the first time. And one of the things that he said to me is, Ben, I'm going to need some help with this. This is all new to me and I'm a bit nervous, which on one hand I totally get because having a camera in your face isn't really a natural thing to do. But on the other hand, I kind of sat back and thought about it and I thought, well, it's funny because this is just talking and we all talk to our clients all the time. So how do you sound natural on video? Well, stick around because you're about to find out. So sometimes when you're put under the spotlight and you're being filmed, it creates this thing where you kind of go into this like robotic state and you freeze up and you get all self-conscious because you subconsciously, you feel like you're putting on a performance, which ultimately ends up with you not being natural. So the biggest thing for me when I sit down with someone and put them in front of my camera is that I want to capture you and your business as authentically as possible and get the essence of not only who your business is, but who you are as a business owner and what you stand for and what you want for your clients. So my approach is I want to get you to a state where you and I, we're just chatting and we're just really having a conversation and you're being exactly who you are. I mean, I'm not an actor and I know that you're not either. And I'm not going to lie about it. It's pretty hard to be in front of a camera and deliver valuable content. And not just that, but you need to communicate your value, overcome your clients' objections, and inspire your target market to take some kind of action, all without telling them to do so. So my job is to then really get the essence of what your business is about. But there's so many stories. And from these videos, we understand that story can have such a powerful impact on business. So when we sit down and we have a conversation, we might talk for an hour, we might talk for 2 hours, however long it kind of takes to really get deep down into the essence of everything that we want to get across. Now, I'll then take that conversation back to the computer and then that's where I'll work on condensing that 2 hour, whatever it is, conversation down to say 2 minutes and really bring out those golden nuggets so that when someone watches that 2 minutes, they completely understand what's being said so that when they finish that video, they can basically repeat what's been said in that video to anybody down the street. Now, one of my core principles at Shutter Speed Studios is to create authentic stories, and I'll leave it up to you and your imagination to take care of why I think that that's important. Now, I've been around hundreds of stories for people and businesses, and having spent time in the film and TV industry, I've become pretty familiar with this story process and with the interview process. So naturally, you're going to ask me, well, what is this interview process? The interview process is where you or your client or your team are just being natural and having a natural conversation. The only difference is there's also a camera. So my job is to extract as much information from that conversation and go down rabbit holes that you didn't even think were possible. That's how we create authentic stories. And it's by going deep, much deeper than you would on any typical date. And so I like to explain it like this. My job is to extract 10,000% and then mold, edit, and craft that story back down to that final 100% that you get. At the end of the day, you'll have a story in the form of a video that's 100% authentic, makes sense to you, makes sense to your target market, and shows how you solve problems and bring value to them. And all this is done to inspire your target market to take some kind of action, and like I said, without asking them, and have you as the obvious decision when they decide who they want to work with. And that's the power of storytelling.